Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Backyard Buckets. Today, as you saw by the title and thumbnail, we are going to be talking about the Sacramento Kings. Surprisingly, they've put together a pretty good season. Almost made the playoffs a couple years ago, then last year were not the greatest. Made it to the bubble, didn't do too much. But they're playing some really good basketball right now, at least offensively. We'll talk about the defense here in a little bit. Trying to figure out what's going on. It's not promising at all. But if you are new here, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're not new here, make sure to like the video. Liking it helps us out in the YouTube algorithm, helps it get it out to more people so they can see it too and be considered new and like and subscribe. So just do that. And also subscribing obviously helps us grow our channel. So the Kings are 12-12 currently, the number 9 team in the West. Before last night, when I decided to make the video, they'd won 4 in a row. Of course, they had to lose last night to kind of mess up that, but still gonna make the video because the Kings are 12-12 and the Kings are good, so we gotta recognize it, or at least they're decent. If they were in the East, they'd be in the playoffs. But they are led by De'Aaron Fox, the fourth-year point guard out of Kentucky. He is averaging 23.5 points, 3.5 boards, and 7 assists. Really looking like a superstar for the Kings. He's really, really young, too. Obviously, with it only being his 4th year, he is 23. So a really good building block for the future, obviously, for the Kings. Shooting the ball 48% from the field and 36% from 3. So a bit of an improved three-point shot for him, but he's really turned into an all-around scorer and somebody they can help build their franchise around. Say they want to move on from Buddy Hield, who we're going to talk about a little bit later, and let the guy that we're playing in the background right now run the 2. You can still have De'Aaron at the 1, and they would complement each other very well. We're going to talk more about Halliburton in a little bit as well, though. Next up is a guy who's been a pleasant surprise for him, Harrison Barnes. He's averaging 17 points, 6.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. Actually shooting the ball pretty well, 49% from the field and 41% from 3. That also comes as a bit of a surprise, but he's kind of more of a older style power forward. Can't really shoot. Of course, he's been shooting the ball really well this year, but before this year, not really much of a shooter, more so a rim runner and rebounder kind of guy. But he's been able to stretch defenses out a little bit this year, so always a plus when you got a forward that can do that. They had Bielitsa doing it, but I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's not been the greatest this year. Talk about him a little bit more in a second. But the guy we mentioned earlier, Buddy Hield, he's averaging 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Now, his name has been out there in a bunch of trade rumors. Maybe him leaving in free agency, whether it be unrestricted or restricted. Just the Kings don't match the offer sheet. But I think they should if he gets an offer as a restricted free agent. I think they should. He is not shooting the ball very well, though. Like I said, he's averaging 16 points, but it's on 37% from the field shooting and 37% from 3. And he is possibly considered their best shooter, or one of at least. One of the better shooters in the NBA, you could say. He's been in three-point contests a couple of times. But if he picks that up, you could easily see him being, 14-10 instead of 12-12. So in the future, going forward, if they get their best shooter shooting again, then heads up. Watch out. There'll be something. Richaun Holmes has been a really good surprise for him this year, averaging 13 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Shooting the ball 65% from the field and 20% from 3. Now, I do believe they picked him up in free agency a couple of years back. Maybe traded for him. Actually, somebody let me know down in the comments. But he has been a really nice surprise. Came on last year, kind of took over the starting center spot. Allowed Bagley to move back to his natural position. Bagley's an interesting case. But back to Holmes, he's shooting 65% from the field, 20% from 3. I might already say that. But he has been a very nice surprise for the Kings so far this year. Now on to Marvin Bagley. Now, as y'all know, he was the number 2 overall pick in the draft. They took him ahead of Luka Doncic. At least I was pretty high on Luka heading into the draft. Obviously, I never made a video about it because we didn't really make videos back then. So you can believe what you want. But I was actually pretty high on Luka going into the draft. Thought he was one of the main guys. And Bagley, he can run and jump, but he has no jump shot whatsoever. And you're somewhat limited in today's NBA game if you can't shoot. His dad actually took to Twitter and said trade him. And he added the Kings, I'm pretty sure. And then De'Aaron Fox's dad said, please do. And Fox was a little upset. But he's averaging 12.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and an assist a game, shooting the ball 47% from the field and 37% from three. So it's not the worst season, but you obviously expect better from somebody that you'd probably want to be averaging about 20 points a game by now. By no means am I saying give up on him. He should not be traded. He's 21 years old. This is his third year in the NBA. He's had injuries. By no means give up on him and trade him. He's got at least 10 good years left, obviously barring any injuries. Hopefully he stays healthy. But he's got at least 10 years left. Please, Kings, do not trade him. Next guy, Tyrese Halliburton. If it wasn't for LaMelo Ball, this guy would be the Rookie of the Year. He's averaging 12 points. Well, maybe not. Maybe he'd go to Wiseman. But he's averaging 12 points, 3.5 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting the ball 50% from the field and 46% from three. They said the jumper wouldn't translate. It's translating very nicely so far. He's been a very, very good pick. He fell to the Kings at 12. They made the right pick. I know it's weird saying the Kings made the right draft pick, but it happened this year. So good job, Kings, on that one. Hassan Whiteside, a guy they brought over from the Trailblazers. He's averaging 7 points, 5 rebounds, and a block and a half per game, shooting 56% from the field. So good backup center minutes from him. Now, as I was saying, their defense is dead last in the NBA at 30th, at least according to defensive rating. Offense at 9th. So if they can get their defense, into at least out of the bottom 5, bottom 10, I mean, they'd be in a much, much better situation than they are right now with just playing absolutely no defense. But with that being said, that is going to be it for today's video. So make sure you like and subscribe. It'll really help us out in the YouTube algorithm, especially if you're new here. If you need some help with March Madness, keep us in mind. Make sure to come back to us because we're going to be doing in-depth breakdowns for every single game in the first round, each region, all that. So make sure to come back. With all that being said, thank you for watching.